Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Starting to see those light showers that were around the area earlier moving out of the area now, and starting to see some of that low level cloud breaking up. And we'll gradually continue to see that trend as we move through the remainder of the morning, seeing some sunshine as we get into the afternoon with partly cloudy skies. And we'll see a return of some showers and thunderstorms as we go, particularly later in the afternoon and into the evening time frame. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we had this warm front that lifted through the area overnight, brought in some of that shower activity earlier this morning. We're going to see that continue lifting out of the area as this second area of low pressure is going to gradually track along the stationary boundary. And it's going to bring this trailing cold front into our area later on this evening, bringing another round of showers and thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center does have us at a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather, so could see an isolated storm with this activity packing a bit more of a punch, with mainly just seeing some gustier winds with that activity. If we take a look at the current visible satellite, as well as the composite radar, we can see still some light radar returns over the local area moving off to the east-northeast. Again, that trend will continue, seeing that moving out of the area. We do have some breaks in the cloud cover off to the west and across the bay just to our west. You're going to see that moving through the area. See some partly cloudy skies later in the day, and as we get some more daytime heating, we will see a slight chance of an isolated shower or possibly a storm popping up across the area, but that looks to be only about a 15 to 20% chance. That better chance of showers and storms, as mentioned, will arrive later in the day with that boundary. If we take a look at the high-resolution model, we'll see kind of picking up on that light precip still being detected around the region. But as we go through the morning, again, kind of showing that isolated light reflectivity across the area as we go into the afternoon. The better chance that's going to arrive later after the 14 local time frame, but again, looking like a 15 to 20% chance we see any impact at all. So likely still staying dry as we move through our working hours today, and as we pass into the evening time frame, mainly past that 1800 local time, we're going to start to see showers and storms out ahead of that boundary approach the area as that area of low pressure passes to our north. And as you can see, some bright colored reflectivity here pushing through the area, indicating some good to heavy rainfall with a possible stronger storm pushing through as we go through that evening time frame. As we get past the 22 or 23 local time frame, we'll see most of that activity push through the area with the boundaries. Still a chance for a lingering shower or storm before much of that clears up, and then maybe a lingering shower as we continue through the early morning hours of Saturday. Then things dry out once again to start the day on Saturday. Will be dry through the first part of the day and breezy, as we will see those winds become quite strong behind the front early in the morning, and then remaining breezy as we move through our Saturday. And then in the afternoon, we'll see a secondary boundary pushing through. It's going to bring a chance for, once again, some afternoon, evening showers pushing through the area. As you can see, the high-res model picking up on that here. And then as that boundary pushes through, it clears out that shower activity once again, and we'll see things drying out as we move into the end of the weekend, setting up for a stretch of drier weather. If we take a look at the bigger picture here with the GFS model, we'll see starting off Sunday morning, drier conditions continuing as high pressure tries to build in over the local area and keeping things on the quiet side as we move through our Monday. Can't rule out very slight chance of an isolated shower on Monday, as some models have tried to indicate, but it doesn't look very likely at this time, as we'll have this upper level trough lingering over the area, possibly providing that support. But nonetheless, high pressure will mainly dominate the forecast as we move through at least the first part of the week. And then as we get later into the middle of the week and second half of the week, we do have some divergence in the model solutions here, with the European model indicating possibly a afternoon shower on Wednesday, although a very slight chance, and then a better chance of showers maybe going into Thursday. We do have some decent agreement that as we get towards the end of the week, we will have this boundary trying to push through the area, maybe bringing showers as early as the PM time frame on Thursday, but more so as we get into Friday, as you can see here indicated by the GFS. So we'll get better agreement with those models as we approach closer to that time frame. But for now, we'll take a look at the upper level winds from this morning sounding. Had some west-southwesterly winds to southwesterly winds through the entire column, around 15 to 25 knots, and seeing our peak wind of 36 knots at 25,000 feet, seeing the freezing level at 11,200 feet this morning. Looking at the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we're looking at green conditions as we move through our morning hours, just a yellow risk for lightning in the area as we get into the afternoon, mainly past that 14 local time frame, but again, that looks to be about a 15 to 20% chance, so not a high probability, but still that chance is there. Otherwise, we'll see a clearing trend as we move through the morning as well, back to partly cloudy conditions as we get into the afternoon. It's going to allow temperatures to warm up to around 76 degrees this afternoon. We'll see southwesterly winds helping with that as well, 5 to 10 knots, gusting to 15 knots before those winds turn more southerly as we get into the later part of the afternoon. Moving into the evening time frame, we pick up that orange risk for precip and lightning, as well as the yellow risk for some reduced ceilings as that shower activity becomes likely mainly after the 18 local time frame. That continues likely to about 22 local, and as we get past the midnight time frame, we drop down to a yellow risk with a chance of a lingering light shower, a thunderstorm, and keeping a chance of a light shower as we move into the early morning hours of Saturday. We do increase to a yellow risk for elevated winds as we get into that overnight time frame as well. We'll see slightly breezy winds later in the day today and gradually increasing, becoming west-southwesterly. And then behind that front, seeing those winds, peak winds really ramp up along and behind that boundary, so increasing to a red risk for that wind advisory criteria, with that wind advisory becoming likely as we'll see west-southwesterly winds 13 to 18 knots with peak gusts up to 30 to 35 knots. And then we'll see those peak winds calming down as we get into the start of Saturday, but still remaining fairly breezy with those peak winds down to around 25 knots, so still right around that wind advisory criteria. Tides are running normal, and looking at the extended forecast here, we'll see breezy conditions continuing into Saturday, so a good chance we see continuation of that wind advisory criteria. Similar temperature profile for Saturday with a high around 75 degrees and a good chance for those PM showers and storms once again pushing through the area. Storm Prediction Center just has a marginal risk for severe weather for our Saturday time frame, so slightly less than what we'll see this evening. So that possibility for a stronger storm is there, although a little less than what we'll see this evening. Things quiet up as we go into Sunday with partly cloudy conditions, slightly cooler with a high around 71 degrees, and we continue with partly cloudy conditions as we move through that first half of the week. Just a 15% chance of an isolated shower on Monday. Some models indicating that likely happening during the early morning hours, so keeping the working hours of the day mainly dry. Temperatures in the mid-70s, and we'll move on a warming trend as we move through the middle portion of the week with temperatures climbing up into the 80s through our Wednesday and Thursday. We'll see some additional clouds possible on Wednesday, very slight chance of an isolated shower, but should mainly remain dry, and then picking up a 20% chance of a PM thunderstorm on Thursday with that next boundary pushing through the area and bringing in those rain chances as we get towards the end of the work week. So that's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again on Monday at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.